Party. Let's speak now to the Home Secretary, Theresa May, who's been returned comfortably in her seat. She joins me now from Maidenhead. A very good morning to you, Theresa May. Do you think your party can win this election outright? You can get an overall majority still?
Well, we've still got quite a lot of results to come in. Obviously, we've been seeing some very good results coming through for the Conservatives in number of seats that we have taken. Sadly, we've lost a small number of colleagues as well. But let's see what the final result is going to be before we are able to decide actually how to go forward.
OK, do you feel for any of your former colleagues in government from the Liberal Democrats? So many of them, so many of their cabinet team have lost their seats.
Well, yes, I've seen obviously the results coming through. I mean, I particularly noticed the result for Lynn Featherstone, who had been a minister in the Home Office, both at the start of the coalition and, of course, latterly as well. And obviously I'd worked very closely with Lynn Featherstone. But we've seen, obviously, the Liberal Democrats losing seats to Labour and to the Conservatives and to the Scottish Nationalists.
What about Danny Alexander, Ed Davey, Vince Cable? So many scalps and so many of them gone to the Conservatives.
Yes, indeed. I mean, obviously, that by definition, I mean, the fact that you're reading those names, those are all people who have been in cabinet, they've been ministers, they've worked in the coalition and are now no longer going to be members of Parliament. But I think what we've seen when we were coming up to this election was people focusing very clearly and increasingly focusing on the clear choice that they were going to have to make when they went into that polling station and were casting their ballots, a clear choice between going forward with the Conservatives building on economic recovery, ensuring we could develop that strong economy and secure people's futures at every stage of their life, or the prospect of falling back into economic chaos if Labour were to get into a majority.
OK, just seeing here, Theresa May, that Norman Baker, your former colleague at the Home Office, Lib Dem, of course, lost his seat as we were discussing that. Conservatives have taken his Lewis seat away from him. You didn't really see eye to eye, did you, while you worked together?
No, we did. I mean, I worked. That's obviously the first I've heard of Norman's loss. Norman and I worked well together. We both accepted that sometimes we didn't agree on things, and we just sat down and talked them through. And that's how I worked with all the Liberal Democrats who were in the Home Office as Home Office ministers.
OK, we have to discuss the state in Scotland. Of course, not much Conservative representation there, of course, before this general election. Nevertheless, what do you make of this SNP landslide, tsunami, whatever we want to call it? How do you heal the rift now within the United Kingdom?
Well, I'm a great supporter of the United Kingdom. We had a vote last September. A vote was taken in Scotland about the future of the United Kingdom, and that gave a very clear result that Scottish people wanted to stay as part of the United Kingdom. I think it's important that we keep the UK together. Of course, decisions have already been taken to increase the powers that are devolved to Scotland, and indeed to make changes in the devolution settlement with Wales, and of course English votes on English issues, which is what the Conservatives were proposing prior to the election. So there will be changes in the relationships between the different parts of the United Kingdom, but I believe that it's important that we keep the UK together. OK, Theresa May, Home Secretary, thank you very much indeed. Theresa May there live from Maidenhead.